The soldier, above all others, prays for peace. For he alone must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war.
His first deployment was, in things that he's told me, I would think a little bit more intense than the second one. I didn't see the changes after the first deployment. He came home for that year. Things were, no, he's same guy. And after the second deployment, I started seeing some different things. But I saw quite a few changes, mostly in his mood.
I deployed November of 07 to January of 09 in Mosul, Iraq, and then in August of 2010 to August of 2011 in Dewania, Iraq. The first deployment, we were doing some close target reconnaissance, kind of snatch and grabs. We were working with some ODA, some Special Forces guys, tracking these guys and doing some snatch and grabs and some high-value targeting. Scale the wall of their house at 3 o'clock in the morning, sneak in the door, and scoop them up at night. 3 pretty bad blasts, but all of us walked away injury-free on the outside, not knowing at the time what the PTSD and the TBI effects really hadn't come into play yet until the second deployment. Involved in some firefights, some pretty heavy firefights. Once again, mortars, rockets, small arms fire. So, lost a few friends. One of the hardest is Sergeant First Class Jonathan Lowry. He would have been my shooting partner on any sniper type missions we would have had to go on. Supposed to go on a mission with him that day, got pulled off that mission at the last minute, and he wound up getting killed that day. It still weighs heavy on me, thinking that if I'd have been there, he'd probably still be with us.
Well, my involvement with Soldier Songs, I guess the official artist in residence, and I co-chair the Musicians Advisory Board. The first workshop, though, that we began here at Cheatham Street was one that I started doing. So I'm the original kind of musician that became involved with the organization and sort of designed the program. I mean, it's a fairly loosely based. There's not a lot of structure to it really, which is intentional. Because this program meets every week, I do actually I see generally the same folks from week to week, and you see them just kind of opening up, and you see improvements in their cognitive abilities, especially. Like, you'll notice they're not quite as scatterbrained, or they can be a little more present in the moment. There have been a couple individuals that had trouble with their speech, even just from a certain amount of brain injury, and so you see like the vocabulary coming back, and then also you see them as they're learning how to play a guitar, play an instrument, and so you watch what happens. I get so excited when all of a sudden it's like they're like, they couldn't do this one thing the week before, and then all of a sudden it clicks and they've got it, and it's it's a pretty profound change that happens with. It's a self-confidence thing also. So it's just kind of you see that a comfortability, at least, kind of just getting their feedback planted on the ground.
Thank y'all very much. Believe it or not, y'all are part of a research group going on here tonight. This is actually part of my therapy. I went 27 months in Iraq, 2 different deployments.
don't look at very much for. And he ever known a Greek philosophy, a guy named Plato, used to run around this town with a barefooted, said, only the dead have seen the end of war. The soldier, above all others, prays for peace. For he must suffer and bear the deepest wounds and scars of war. Only the dead will see the end of war.